Hi, welcome to Talking Trash and Tacos with Jessica and
Sarah, we're about to be famous.
maybe not. So I am obsessed with shows. I don't know what my thing is, but I'm just always interested in learning something more, even if it's something that I will never do. I've came across on Netflix a recent release, Don't Die. And I'm all about this, learning about death because, we're all going to do it. It's inevitable. And how are we going to do it? So Bryan Johnson is a multimillionaire who is a master marketer. So let me start off with a little bit of Bryan. So Bryan Johnson is 47 and lives in Provo, Utah. He attended BYU, which is a private university sponsored by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He is a Mormon.
He's not now, but he was, yeah.
Yeah, they discussed it in the documentary. His mom said that his marriage was kind of ending. He had 3 kids and he just seemed so down. He was running, starting up a tech business like everyone out there in that world does. And he just said it was just so much work. And I don't really know much about why he broke away from the Mormon religion, but I do know he has 3 kids, 2 of them of which he does not communicate with because of this. And the other one, his name is Talmadge, and he was in the documentary with Bryan. And he left the church as well and went to live with his dad for a year before starting college, which I thought was like really cool to watch the dynamics between them. They seem like they look like brothers, don't they?
Yeah. Do you know anything about the company he sold?
Yes. Bryan's known for his science and tech companies. So he has Kernel, OS Fund, and Braintree, which was part of Venmo, which he sold to PayPal in 2013. He sold the Braintree Venmo portion for $800 million. I think he walked away with $300 million for himself out of that deal, which is insane. So he spends over $2 million a year trying to defeat aging and reverse it. How do you think he's doing, Sarah?
Honestly, we'll talk about what he does and all that, but I want to start by saying I think he looks way worse now than he did before.
Why?
Like he just looks like a robot, acts like, I don't know. It's
He
weird to
actually
me.
looks like a vampire. I feel bad. Like he needs some sunlight.
Something is going on with that. I don't know. I was shocked by the whole thing.
Did you see the pictures I added? So there's one on Wikipedia.
He was super cute.
So adorable. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, look at this little hottie over here. This
I know,
nerdy
little
hottie.
chubster, but so cute. You just wanted to paint his
And he
cheeks.
did go through a really chubby phase. Like it showed him while he was married. He got to be a big boy. And then he got to like a normal size, which is what I thought Wikipedia was. And now he's kind of just a whole lot of muscle and bones.
Which is crazy. And then he talks about why, like, getting depression, suicidal, and rather than going that route, somehow he's said he shut off his mind, which I thought was crazy.
Yeah, because he says pretty much this whole thing is about anti-aging, and he has a blueprint, which is just a huge marketing ploy, but whatever. You got money, you want to experience this and figure out what works. That's great. But he says that your mind is against you. Like your mind is your own worst enemy, which it can be. We discussed our inner voices, and it's kind of like that, right?
Right. But it's what you do to make it like that, too. Like, obviously, you can change your mindset.
Yes, definitely. So his project blueprint does cost him $2 million a year annually, and it includes taking over 50 pills daily and undergoing gene therapy, plasma transfusions, and adhering to a strict diet and exercise routine.
Yeah, and the young blood thing you'll read us about,
too. I
too.
love it. And people refer to it as blood boys because rich people problems, right? The blood boys.
Right.
That was cracking me up. So what time does he wake up? He wakes up at 5 a.m. sharp every day. Stick to this routine. He wakes up and he does a skin treatment and oral hygiene. I did notice on his bathroom shelf that he was using Cerva and Aquaphor in case anyone needs lotions. And those are normal ones. Like, I see those places.
And he doesn't even get up to the light. Did you notice that? Tell us about that. Like, he gets up and it's dark and there's a weird light.
Yeah. I don't know much about the light. The light therapy in the morning is to help enhance his mood, regulate his circulation, boost his energy levels. So now I think that the one that he turns on in his bathroom is super like dim. I don't really know what that's about.
Yeah.
But he also uses like Lux light therapy. Is that the one that simulates the natural sunlight?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's this one, which 10,000 Lux light therapy sounds like a lot, but maybe it's...
Yeah, because it looks like nothing.
Yeah.
It looks like when it's a foggy day outside.
It does, too. I'm like, dang, I'd be depressed just being in this room, waking up with not real sunlight. It's like just the light in a mirror, kind of like my makeup mirror.
Yes, exactly. But then he also does those other lights where it's the red light. I saw so many lights in this guy's house. I really don't know what was happening. So
right.
There's so many lights. So in addition to the morning light exposure, he utilizes red light therapy devices. He uses a red light cap to combat hair loss, which I'm not sure is working because he has very sparse hair at the front of his head.
That's what I thought. I was like, not doing anything.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know about that. You might want to have a hair transplant and just call it a day. Might be a lot easier if you can afford it and you want it. But
right?
So he wears it during his morning activities. The red light therapy is believed to stimulate your hair follicles and promote hair growth. And that's the thing, is we're being all judgy over here, but really maybe it is working. I don't know what he looked like before I watched this documentary, technically. I have no idea. I didn't even know he existed. This is all new. So these light therapy practices are integral to Johnson's comprehensive health regimen, aiming to optimize his overall well-being and longevity.
And he wears all these devices, too, which I thought was crazy.
Well, some of it is part of one of his businesses. Colonel, that I mentioned earlier, seems like he has his own laboratory of these Colonel items. Now, I haven't looked too much into this. I just know that his laboratory in his house has a lot of these devices that he's been using. And I think he's inventing them or helping patent them. Something's going on to where he's doing this too.
I know some stuff. Like, he uses an erection tracker, which I've never even heard that. Yes, it monitors nocturnal penile tumescence, erectile function, and it provides data on frequency and duration as a measure of sexual and overall health. Yes, that is one of his devices.
Interesting.
And then he uses what's called an aura ring, which is starting to become popular.
Oh, I've seen those. I almost bought Ron one for Christmas, but I was like, really? Do we need this? I don't know.
Yep, and it does talk about the kernel flow. And Bryan and I did research him some and realized he also does invest his money into technology regarding age. So all the things he's investing are things that he's pretty much showing us he does. So not only does he have all these devices on or around him at all times, that's just crazy. And then the pills, that's even crazier.
Yes. And so he does take all the pills. Then they're in the evening as well. So he stops eating at noon is his last meal.
Yeah, I've seen that. And only eats 2,250 calories per day.
Pounds of vegetables. Pounds, he said. I was like thinking, I cannot even imagine eating pounds of veggies a day.
Yeah. He's vegan too. He did, I think, mention that he's strictly vegan. So you could do this without being vegan, I guess, but it would still be like super disciplined. 60 minutes a day of exercise on top of not eating afternoon. It's just, I have to eat every 5 minutes.
No, you don't.
I feel like I do. I mean, I might want to. Sometimes I don't, but I want to.
I just cannot imagine you eating that much. I mean, Ron, I ate lunch today, and just a little bit ago, he goes, "What do you want for dinner?" It's 6:10. I'm like, I'm still digesting my lunch. Like, I can't even fathom more food right now. But that's just me. So,
What time does he go to bed?
Bryan,
Yeah.
so he's on a very strict sleepy time regimen, routine, if you will. So 8:30 p.m. bedtime in a pitch black room, temperature controlled, and he uses all of the devices to track his sleep quality and patterns.
And on top of all that, he also does like experimental things that can be dangerous, which creeps me out. Tell us about that. Like his trip with his dad and his son. Like, what's up with that? And family photos.
But back to his sleep, though, I just wanted to add these couple of tidbits in. So he treats sleep like a professional priority. He's got no caffeine, no alcohol, which then leads me to assume he does no drugs. So no legal marijuana, no gummies for you. Consistent wind down routines to improve his sleep quality. He considers quality sleep as one of the most impactful anti-aging habits, which I have heard that my entire life. They say everything in routine, you have to get, they want you to get at least 8 hours of sleep. Do you get 8 hours of sleep?
No, I do not. I probably get 6 to 7 hours of sleep. And that's with waking up a lot in the middle of the night. So,
yeah. I love sleep. I napped today for a good while. It felt really good.
But not nap. A nap would turn into me sleeping till the next day. Can't do it. You always have been able to do that.
I love naps. Okay, so you were talking about the plasma therapy, which is really interesting. And you hear about it a lot for medical conditions as well. But he's using it strictly to gain years back on his life for his anti-aging. So do you know how many years the plasma therapy gives him back? 2 to 5 years you'll get back after having the blood transfusion. And I'm just not sold on that.
So he does it, but you can do it more like, is it something you do all the time? Is it something you can only do so many times in your life?
When I was reading about it, I did read that they recommend six before you stop. And each one costs $8,000.
Wow.
So I thought that was interesting. So, not everybody can do this. That's for sure. It is very interesting. And it's been referred to Blood Boys. He's going to do a multi-generational blood transfusion.
So crazy. And photos. Like they took professional photos.
In their wife beaters.
Right? Like what?
I was dying. And the dad in his wife beater. And I'm like, wait, what is happening? It was odd. It was very odd. So to do this, they went to Honduras for this. It's called Prospera Honduras. So they have a special government. It's pretty much made for medical tourism because there's so much here in the States that you have to go through to get, approved.
Yeah.
Even be able to have this done. So here they have like a council. There's 9 members. It has its own special government, and it just makes things a lot easier, apparently. So he opted for follistatin gene therapy.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, so it's supposed to increase muscle mass and strength and delay the onset of aging. So all this is done in Honduras. It's a private, self-governing experimental zone and startup hub. So if you're looking to have medical stuff done, you go there. Here we go. It says the gene therapy currently costs $25,000 and is available only at the Garm Clinic. And then there's also an Eterna Health Clinic in Dubai, if you're feeling frisky going in the Middle East.
25,000, and that doesn't include travel and hotel stay, does it?
Right. I mean, you would hope that this just takes you to everything. It's $25,000. I mean, who can put that type of money into themselves? Only
And it can be dangerous. You don't even know because...
Yeah, they also claim that not only does it promote longevity, but it helps with age-associated diseases such as cancer, heart disease, and neurodegenerative conditions such as Alzheimer's, dementia, that kind of stuff. But if I was rich, I would be on this crazy little boat too, doing my own thing. Would you do this if you could?
No, because first off, it seems like you can't be that happy. How can you be happy with, and he secludes himself. I feel like it cannot work. And who's going to date somebody that has to do all these things every single day?
Did you hear the conversation between him and Talmadge? So Bryan's discussing dating with Talmadge. He met a woman online and he chatted with her over the phone, and he was outlining what he does every day. And Bryan stated that she seemed undeterred. And I was like, well, yeah, you're a millionaire. Of course she's undeterred until...
Right? Like, hey,
in
you
it.
do your routine, I'll go ahead and do me. Just give me a car, some credit cards. Yeah. So, I don't know. The whole documentary, I feel like you just got to watch it.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting watch, and it gives you an extreme view of what someone's doing out there.
We're going to post his before after on our Facebook, too.
Definitely.
So you guys can let us
Judge
know your
him
thoughts.
with us.
Yeah.
This poor guy. And I just think it's great that he's doing this. It is interesting. You know, it's your life to live. Do it, right? I also think, like you said, the quality of life. But I do think there's a good social element to this. Did you see where he was doing a hike? And the first time he did a Don't Die hike, it was 4 people. The second time he did the hike, it was like hundreds of people.
400 people. Yes, I did. That part was awesome. But like his son said, his son does refer to this as a cult in the documentary. He says this is a cult.
Well,
but
it's probably maybe therapeutic because they just left their religious cult and he needs to replace that with something. So
Right.
This is his replacement, I guess. Maybe this is what fills that void of missing, you know, all of the people that you were surrounded by. Because I couldn't imagine that.
For each their own. I'm not going to do that. Now, maybe if you can combine the 54 pills, a lot of the pills he takes look like a lot of vitamins and natural stuff, but then some of the other stuff isn't.
Oh, he also has a website. I do want to get into this just for a minute. So he will sell you his special olive oil in a wine bottle. Okay. How much
I did see his TikTok videos. Yeah.
It was like he's selling his special wine bottle olive oil for $35 a bottle. Now, that's doable.
It didn't make sense to me that he's all this stuff, but you notice he's obsessed with his social media.
Yeah. I think he's definitely obsessed with himself.
Right.
But, you know, whatever.
Interesting documentary, though.
But if you want to buy his, what are those proteins? It's 30 ounces of protein powder for $85. That seems a little absurd.
Yeah.
I don't know how much protein powder normally is, but $85. That's like,
just go get some chicken.
Ridiculous. Go get some chicken. Hey, vegans, go get some chicken. So I don't know. I just found it very, very interesting. Gives you something else to think about. So what's next, Sarah?
So we'll talk about some of the ways people are trying to age themselves backwards. So, and a lot of these you may have heard of, and I'm not going to touch on them all because there's a lot. but like biohacking. So biohacking is all about using science and technology to optimize your body and mind. So like cryotherapy, which is exposing the body to sub-zero temperatures for a few minutes to reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and enhance recovery. Kind of the same if you ever heard somebody say take cold showers. They're good for you. I guess there is truth to that. Infrared saunas, they detoxify the body, improve the skin, and boost your relaxation. Then you got stem cell therapy, which is injecting or infusing stem cells to regenerate damaged tissues, boost your skin health, or even treat degenerative diseases. Mel Gibson, Peyton Manning, they have reportedly been two people that have used the stem cell therapy. And then, of course, we touched on the young blood transfusions. That's where you receive your blood from somebody younger than you in hope of rejuvenating your aging body.
Yeah, and if you're like Bryan, you can give your blood to your dad, you get your son's, but who does the son get? The son doesn't get any like 10-year-old blood to make him younger.
He must get the grandpa's blood. I don't know. Could you? I wonder someday somebody's going to be like, I want to age. Can you age somebody older? That's crazy.
Yeah, because millions and million years from now, they're like, I wonder what it's like to age because we're all young now.
And then there's beauty treatments a lot of people are doing. They're using salmon DNA facials, injecting fish-derived DNA to enhance your skin. Kardashian, Kim does that. Platelet-rich plasma, that's the vampire facial that's been going around where you see the blood on their face. Sitting in an oxygen-rich chamber to speed up healing, fight fatigue. You got microdosing psychedelics. A lot of people are big on that. My sister is actually big on that. And so is her husband, who's actually a doctor. So
I did watch a documentary about microdosing and doing the mushrooms to just help heal yourself through, like, some man had alcoholism quite bad, and he was trying to get to the bottom of it, and he went to a clinic to do that.
Yeah, they say it reduces anxiety and boosts productivity.
They have some that are opened in the US, but it's out west, somewhere near California, maybe Las Vegas-y area. There's not a lot of them. Most people have to go overseas to do this. So I guess
that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
We'll get it. Okay.
But they're like pill form, so it's not like you're going to trip on, shrooms like the old days.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if you took a whole bottle of them, I'm not sure.
It is supposed to be the newest and the greatest.
Genetic modification. So gene editing. People can edit out diseases eventually. So they can change the gene that causes you any of the diseases. That's what's coming in the future. And then the genetic programming is they can adjust and turn off and on switches in your genes to slow aging or improve your cell performance. Yeah, so
that's pretty intense. I was watching something else today, and it was about sports performance, and it's just nuts how they can determine what your body can do. And I just don't know how they do that. It's kind of just amazing.
And then the cellular aging test. So we watched the Kardashians. The whole family did this test, and we're bragging about who they were all younger than their actual ages. It's like they do a whole body scan. I'm sure it's not cheap to get it done.
Yeah, they take into consideration all the plastic surgery they had and how that affects your body, because I don't think they'd be winning in that department.
Yeah. And the other one I don't get is one thing people do to anti-age is extreme mental resilience practices. So weeks of no speaking or distractions. So
Wow.
What, you just sit by yourself for weeks? I could not imagine. That would be like being in prison and be put in
solitary confinement.
Yes, that word.
Be perfecting your internal monologue very well.
Yeah. So
you would have a lot of conversations with yourself.
What are your thoughts on this? Would you guys do any of these? Would you do any of these things, Jessica? I would. maybe.
Well, I have
It's
a hot
scary,
tub,
but
so I like the hot. I think the cold is its place. Sure. I don't know if I'd love it. But they also have those other things where they pump the cold air in. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a bath. It's just like a really cold room. Like maybe if you work at a restaurant, you go stand in your freezer for a little bit or the refrigerator. Will that be the same thing? It's like your treatment instead of paying thousands of dollars. I don't know. I would do that. If we ever become rich, that's when you need to contact me because I might get a little frisky then. I'd be more apt to spend money on myself, which I don't do that now.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Jessica, you're going to take over this next topic, which is pretty exciting.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm trying to find it. You got like 18 pages.
We're going to, Jessica was like, Sarah, we have got to talk about sex robots. And she wants to talk about it because she's been experimenting with the Rons.
Yeah.
So,
I told him we might need to buy one.
wait, how much are they? I didn't even check on that.
Oh,
sex robots are a thing, which
they
is crazy.
are. It just really depends on what one you buy. So obviously, back in the 60s, they had sex blow-up dolls, right? Who wants that this day and age when they're making realistic feeling sex dolls that can self-lubricate? They're right now working on ones that can walk. They can breathe, like have the chest moving, temperature controlled. You can change their moods, but they're also learning. They're AI and empathetic, and they have ever evolving personalities, some of them. You can even program it to be part of your family. So which I told Ron, this might help battle molestation. Because I watch so much true crime, right? When the moms or the maternal figure passes away, the men, maybe not now as much as back in the old days before we had the internet and you're always found out, would like molest the children. And now they can just buy a sex robot. They have an Instamom, a sex robot, and maybe they'll become babysitters. Maybe we'll have artificial nannies someday.
They have feelings. What happens if they're just not in the mood?
They don't. You program them to never say no.
That's kind of messed up. They got feelings, but I could tell them to never tell me no. So just deal with your feelings.
It is true. Yeah. So the one guy who created in San Marcos, California, he has a company called Harmony. It's a posable body, and they make noises. So they'll like moan and groan, and they also have facial expressions, and they do have really nice voices. And his is really cute. So right now they're working on the self-lubrication and the warming. And he said that a lot of people are just really attracted to the doll because they get to personalize it. So they have an app on the phone. It's only available in Android AI, and it's called Harmony. And you can create what you would want her personality to be like. And then instead of buying the doll, because you don't have your $15,000 right now, because you're still saving for it, you can pay $30 a month to have a virtual relationship with her in advance before you buy her.
Wow. And they're not just for sex, it says. They can be just for companion to watch movies with you or chat.
Mm-hmm. You can get advice.
You get a robot psychiatrist.
And maybe it can help people who are a little bit shyer become more confident, having conversations with the opposite sex. I think that could be a good thing.
So they can be men, women, or non-binary?
If they're virtual, yes. Right now, they only have made one male doll. And I didn't look to see who makes the male doll, but yeah, we're obviously, ladies, we're screwed.
I read in my research that there are 3 robots, and one is Henry, and he's got a 6-pack.
He's the only male bot, though.
Oh, and then the other 2, there's Roxy and Harmony. Roxy
those are all different companies, just so you know.
We're going to have sex robot stores around Toledo eventually.
Yeah. Tell them about the brothels that we heard about.
Yeah, so first off, I want to start with the marriages. Some people have married their sex robots, forming emotional bonds with them.
Like legally, or do they just have like their fake wedding with their fake girlfriend?
I would imagine legally. Hopefully they signed a prenup.
If you've married your sex bot, let us know. We'll talk to you.
Or if you even
about it.
have one. So they got in brothels. So several cities worldwide have experimented with robot brothels, offering a legal alternative to traditional sex work. So yeah, you can go hire a robot, and I mean, they do have viruses, but I don't think you can get an STD.
Well, what if you're sharing sex robots? It seems like that might pose a problem.
Yeah, I haven't got that far in my research.
Yeah, me either. But if anyone has more info on that, that'll be coming soon.
What's scary, though, is hacked robots. Security researchers have demonstrated that sex robots, like other connected devices, can be hacked, potentially turning them into a nightmare scenario of malfunctioning machinery. Like, could we have a killer robot one day?
When you said that, I was just picturing a bunch of male robots going around and accosting people with their private parts. It was terrible. I'm sorry.
What happens if your robot gets a charge for like indecent exposure? You gotta pay the fee.
This opens a bunch of doors.
A bunch of questions.
Running around there humping everyone. You got them on their hyper sexual mode. Oh my God. That is crazy.
So yeah, get yourself a sex robot or a virtual.
Yeah, so the one, they try to make it cheaper so you can just buy the head for $15,000 and then you can attach it to whatever. Pretty much if you buy the head, you have the interaction. So you get to talk to her. She does have one hole, just not the other holes. So, it just depends on what you're looking for. But then you can buy the body if you need the other holes, and that will be $30,000 to $60,000.
That is it.
It's not bad. I mean, it's going to last you a while. Maybe. Oh my gosh. Do you have to buy insurance for these things? What if they
I would imagine. Yeah.
That's really depressing. These things cost more than vehicles. So, depending on what part you're buying. So, do you have to have insurance on them? Do you want coverage so they can be fixed? How much is a repair? Are they going to have sex robot doctors on every corner? I don't know, Sarah.
Well, who knows? I know I'm not going to have one because I'd be afraid
somebody there soon.
Somebody was going to take it over and our robot would kill us or something. Too scared of that.
Oh,
no way.
Just how much can they learn? Maybe it doesn't need to be a learning AI system. Maybe they cap it off somewhere. I don't really know how this stuff works, but you cap the knowledge so they can't get that smart. But then will they be so smart they can get through that? I don't know.
I mean, technology is a scary thing, but it seems to be the world is turning into all those futuristic shows we watch and like, oh, that's never going to be like life, flying cars, all this stuff. It's all happening. It's crazy.
It is. So when movies come out now that seem like they're nuts, you know that that's where it's going. So just latch on and take a ride.
I mean, some of these documentaries I've been watching, I just never fathomed. Like this Bryan guy. I had no clue the things people were doing, which led me down a huge rabbit hole of the future stuff that we don't.
Let me tell you, I almost typed into AI today, top 20 things rich people do that normal people don't. I mean, I can just imagine the world of expensive things that we don't even understand. It's so intense.
Yeah, like what's her name? Beyonce. Do you know she bought a hologram for Jay-Z of her grandfather who's passed away?
Of his?
Of hers, I believe.
Why would she buy a hologram of her grandfather for him?
Maybe they never met.
I'm just trying to check the facts here. Jay-Z, were you having an affair with Beyonce's grandfather?
Oh, Lordy.
Anyway, I don't know about what she just said, but it sounds like she bought a hologram. We're just not for sure of what and for who.
Of a grandpa. Just, we don't know if it was his or hers for sure, but I'm pretty sure it was hers. So
Still laughing at that still can't be true. Beyonce's friends or family are going to message us and be like, yeah, Jay-Z loved my dad. What is the problem?
yeah.
Anyway. What's next, Sarah?
Okay, so earlier I went to the gym, shockingly. Third day this week I slacked.
Ooh, you're a good girl, because I went 0 days
So I was looking
years.
for stuff to, what'd you do?
I've not been to the gym in years. I don't even know what a gym is. That's just like a sex brothel to me. We don't know what those are either, with fake sex dolls.
Yeah, and the gym is loaded with, we've been going for like 8 months. You know, it was so packed. It's like crazy
Oh, it
at the
was
beginning
busy?
of the year. But watch, in the next few weeks, it gets dead again. It's
Yes,
like
because right now they're in their resolution mode and they're like, gotta go to the gym. I'm committed. And you're
fake
saying
workouters.
next
fake
week
gymmers.
they're not going to be committed. How long does it take for the fall off of gymsters?
Right.
No, seriously. When do you guess that the people that are just doing it for resolutions are going to fall off and not come anymore?
I bet a lot already did. I think it happens pretty quick. That's why I don't make New Year's resolutions.
Me either. Good call. High five.
Hey, we've only got off track one time so far. See, I'm being good today.
Yay.
But,
okay. So future tech.
So yeah, I was looking up like what is going on that technology is working on. And then I came up with this Future of show on Netflix, which I was shocked to find out it came out in June of 2022. And I'm just now starting to watch it. And I'm only on episode 3. They're only like 30-minute episodes. It's crazy what they were working on and are working on. So it got me in this rabbit hole. So the documentary basically covers all kinds of things, like trying to find a way for you to be able to communicate with your animals. So basically like an AI translating system so you and your animals can communicate.
Like, how much money would you pay to communicate with your pet?
Who knows, but it would be a lot. They're using it for dating too, to help revolutionize the dating scene and helping people find more compatible partners. And get this, house plants. They're looking into the future of plant modification where enhanced house plants could monitor your pollution, store data, and even serve as interactive companions. We're talking your house plants.
Yeah, I didn't really get the interaction with the plant part. I still don't understand that.
Yeah, and the big thing
to me.
The big thing is lab-grown meat. Pretty soon, your restaurants are not going to be using meat from people. They're going to be growing it in a lab, is what they say.
Well, I think that would be great if they can just grow the individual parts, and that takes the whole problem of me eating cows out of the picture.
Yeah. Life after death. They're exploring concepts like digital consciousness and how technology might allow aspects of our identities to persist after physical death, and we'll get more into that.
So more on life after death. That is also a documentary on Netflix that's great. Has nothing to do with the life after death she's just talking about. I'm just saying it's very good and it's real, like documentary style. So check that out too.
Sports, they are getting AI robots. So they're learning how to get a twin of sports people so that they can learn from that twin that they have to fix sports injuries faster. I mean, it's just insane. I can't.
Well, they also said that. So say your sports predictor says in 2 years, your body is not going to be active enough to keep competing in the sport you're in. Would that be like null and void for your contract? Would they be like, nope, in 2 years you're done. So we're only doing a 1-year contract this year and you're out because you're not going to.
they're not sure. That's why it's obviously not out. I don't think, but that is a concern, though. That's something.
It's such a crazy thought because it is going to come down to that. I think we're someday jobs that really matter. During your interview, they are going to ask you for these details because everyone will have them, and they'll hire you just based upon this platform that says how you're going to work and if you're a good employee. Do you have all the attributes they're looking for? That is what we're heading for. That's intense.
And that stuff's already happening. You told me you and Ron searched yourself on the Chat GPT. Well, I did it for Bryan and I, and it's crazy.
Isn't it?
Crazy.
It felt
what
like
comes
an
up.
obituary. I was like, Ron, if I were to die tomorrow and someone reads my Chat GPT, that's like that's it. That's my obituary. Wasn't it weird? It made me want to cry.
It's crazy. Yeah, if you guys haven't Chat GPT'd yourself to see what pops up,
You're
you might
in
want to
for a ride. It'll be fun.
So
what did you think about it? In all honesty, what did you and Bryan think about your obituary?
Actually, I liked it. It was more or less speaking highly of us in real estate. It was mainly associated. Yeah, it didn't. I thought it was going to pull up like all my things that it shouldn't even know, but it didn't. It was all good stuff.
Because it's programmed to be kind.
It's not all right, though. They had me. There's a lot of Sarah Jerkowitzes, actually. There's like 8 or 9. So how many Jessica Karises are there?
Ron read it to me. I haven't done it myself yet, so I'm not sure what he saw exactly. But I do know that Ron's dad's was wrong because it was pulling, a
different person
from another world.
Yeah,
another
the girl
world.
What's
is a lie. Don't write that down. It was from like Utah or something.
That's funny. The Sarah Jerkowitz that it pulled up that wasn't me is actually in commercial real estate, which I thought was hilarious.
That is ironic.
And she has I found her years ago with Bryan, and I was saying, look at now. I tried to friend request the people with my name. They probably think I'm crazy, but either way. They were like partners and in real estate. It was funny. And his name was Bryan, but it was with an I, not a Y. Kind of funny, but we're off subject. So I got to get back into it. Yeah, because I don't want us to run out of time. So future tech, future-oriented plans, people and organizations are working. They're working on them right now, and it's crazy. So the first thing on my list is called cryonics. That's preserving the body for the future, what it is. So freezing your body or your brain separately after death in liquid nitrogen with the hope of it being revived when technology can cure diseases or reverse aging. Companies that are out there doing it are Elcor Life, Extension Foundation, and Cryonics Institute. Mind-blowing twist. Some people choose neuropreservation of just the brain with plans to transfer their consciousness to an advanced body or computer in the future.
So I'm not necessarily sold on it.
I don't know that, like, if it's your time, it's your time. I feel like you're messing with a lot more with science is scary. So that just mind blows me that people are doing this right now, some places, somewhere, someone has.
I know. I always tell Ron my strange conspiracy theories because I honestly think they're happening. So I read this book series where they're turning kids into like birds. I mean, all different things, right? So now there's these hybrid people that are like part bird, part child, and they escaped. Like, people refer to this as a practice known as quackery. Like, look that up. That word is out there. And in the science and medical world, they use it to describe weirdos that have these horrible ideas. But it's coming true, I swear. I bet you anywhere they have that. Do you think they have that?
Based on everything I'm reading with my research, they have everything, it seems like.
I think so.
It really does. It's crazy. Like,
I'm excited about it, but I'm also like really scared.
So our buddy Elon Musk is a part of this next one.
Okay.
So digital consciousness uploading. What's the big idea? transferring your memories, thoughts, and personality into a computer or virtual reality system. So they do have ways they can take what's in your brain and transfer it. They can
to data
yes,
into
crazy.
an AI bot that can now
Yes.
communicate back to you.
Yeah, Elon Musk is one of the founders. The goal is to achieve digital immortality by living forever in a virtual world or a robotic body. I mean, I didn't even know this stuff could even happen.
Yeah.
But
Like they're already doing the chat bots, like where you can make it seem like a loved one that's passed away. So say your husband passes, you can have your best friend there with you all the time talking to you, because now they've somehow put this personality and responses into like something you'd watch on YouTube. You just ask it things and it responds. Isn't that crazy?
would you put somebody in charge of transferring these memories and keeping them? I
God,
mean,
cool.
we'll touch more on that too when I tell you about my ways to get buried.
Yeah.
Artificial organs and body parts. So right now they have 3D bioprinting where scientists are using these 3D printers to create functional human organs like hearts, kidneys, and skin for transplants. So lab-grown organs, advances in stem cells are allowing researchers to grow organs outside of the body.
Just like they're growing our meat. I think
So
it's
the
all
future-
interconnected. They're going to be feeding us ourselves.
I mean, I'm a little nervous, like Back to the Future. It's like crazy. And the potential of that is to be able to replace failing organs or even enhance healthy ones to improve lifespan and performance.
God, Bryan is doing all this work for nothing. Soon he'll be able to buy his own body parts.
Right? Seriously. Age reversal drugs and therapies. So senolytics, which are like, they call it a zombie cell drug. It takes away all the bad in the aging cells. Rapamycin is something that Bryan said he was on and taking the largest dose ever because they used to give it to rats. I think the documentary said, and it lessened their age by 50%.
That's crazy.
And then metformin is actually an anti-age related drug, which is for diabetes. Crazy.
Yeah. Ron's on that.
Did you know they have space habitats and colonization going on in space right now?
You said that. That sounds so crazy.
NASA, SpaceX, and others are planning permanent habitats on the moon and on Mars. O'Neill cylinders is what it's called. It's giant rotating space habitats that could support thousands of people in a self-sustaining environment. Of course, guess who's involved? Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. Why it matters? It ensures humanity's survival by becoming a multi-planetary species. Crazy.
It is. I can't even imagine it.
They are now DNA rewriting and human customization. So what it's called is CRISPR, gene editing, allows scientists to rewrite your genetic code. And what they can do that for is to eliminate hereditary diseases and enhance your traits, like make you smarter, stronger, and even change or enhance your eye colors. The dream, designer babies and adults with customized DNA. So they're saying eventually
they already do that, just so you know.
Where you can design your baby.
Yes. I think that's already a thing.
The catch is ethical concerns about creating a genetic elite. So you create something and it takes over our world, like some of these crazy movies.
It's like a monarchy. It's just the same family everywhere.
So the Internet of Bodies is connecting the human body to the internet through devices like smart contact lenses that display our augmented reality, brain-machine interfaces to control devices with thought. So eventually they think to turn on your light and you can, but they have that too because there was a guy that's like a paraplegic.
Yes.
He couldn't talk, and
Because
he
he
would
would
think,
think it.
and it would say it, which is just,
So crazy.
it is
That's what I'm saying.
crazy.
We have no idea. Like, and the thing is even the things we do know we have, we forget we have because we don't use them, right? We don't need them. It's just intense.
Yeah.
All this can go so many ways.
Zero gravity medical research is going on. And it's cool because scientists are studying how diseases progress and how drugs behave when they're up in space.
I
to develop.
think that's why those people are still in space. I think they're acting like it was a problem, but I think they did it on purpose. Kept them up there so long.
Yeah, trying. It's not really funny.
I mean, this is Jessica's theory.
So yeah, they're up in space researching on aging, bone density loss, and cancer. It could revolutionize the healthcare on Earth.
But will it? Because the medical field itself, they even talked about that in the Bryan Don't Die documentary, where they came up with a plan on how to make something better. And the hospital was like, why would I do that? You'll be taking away 60% of my income if we can fix this.
Oh, yeah.
And no one's them here. So we probably already know how to fix these issues. And the AI is all part of that. And they're just not releasing it because there's other concerns. Money, profit.
The less people, the more for the rich people.
Everything.
I don't know.
There's a lot involved there. But yes, it's just a lot. So I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's already happening. So I don't even know why we're talking about it.
Right? It's just crazy. And we already talked on the lab grown meat, but you know the other thing they're doing, and they already do actually, vertical farming. So they're using like skyscrapers and hydroponics to grow crops year round in urban areas.
No, I love
that.
You
might see, look up skyscraper vertical farming, and you'll find some interesting photos.
Very cool. Your next one is killing me. I can't even think about vertical farming because I'm so disgusted by your next subject.
The pursuit of conscious AI.
No, Sarah, you passed it. It's the insect foods, high protein snacks. You know, they're going to take those crickets and mealworms that they eat in third world countries and force them to eat them here. Why? No.
Good for you. Protein. It's all
I'm
about
not doing
protein.
it. Why are they doing that? That's disgusting.
Who knows?
All right.
Yeah, and the next one, pursuit of conscious AI. So the goal is to build artificial intelligence that doesn't just process data, but truly thinks and feels and has emotion.
Which leads back into our sex robots.
Right? Guess who is leading this?
Oh, God, who?
Oh, and I named my chat GPT, and it said, why don't you name me Taco Bot to match your theme?
Because you looked up so much about tacos, but we never talk about the tacos.
That's funny. But who's leading it is OpenAI and DeepMind. They are at the forefront. Future vision for that is AI companions that learn to grow and could one day become indistinguishable from humans. So we may not know if they're AI or if they're human.
We already can barely tell who's AI in the freaking stuff on the internet. I don't know if it's a fake Biden or a real Biden. Is this like a deep fake? What is this?
Right. This next one.
I think it's weird how they can just like recreate something and make it look like a person's really saying something that they're not saying.
Which is the thing they touched on. That's the negative side, because stuff's going to go down when all this happens. You can become a hologram. You can make yourself sound like anybody. You can even go on an app and call somebody from any number.
Beyonce's grandpa. You could?
It was?
No, I'm saying you could be Beyonce's grandpa.
Yeah. This next one's crazy, though. Synthetic biology and self-healing materials. So what that is materials that repair themselves after damage, such as cracks in your walls and scratches on your cars. And they will self-heal themselves. Clothing, bioengineered fabrics that adjust to your body temperature or can heal small tears.
That
leads me
insane.
Yeah, they're creating right now a closet where you can go like electronically pick a shirt and the machine will make that shirt for you. Crazy.
No.
That's
Oh my
episode 3
God.
on that show.
I totally didn't watch that one yet. You have ruined this for me.
Sorry, but it's pretty sweet. And
Um,
then longevity hubs. Do you know there's entire communities designed for healthy aging, focusing on clean air and water, stress-free living environments? People are doing it right now. It's blue zones, basically. They have hubs of where people are living life in these hubs.
I love that. That's so sweet.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy.
That.
Justice
Love it, though.
Cummy must have kicked in.
I just couldn't imagine living in a blue zone. Could you? That sounds like It sounds like Bryan in the documentary, like having the boring life when he's just so worried about aging. Like, live your life, but like, everything in moderation. Can't you do both?
Right?
I don't think we can. I don't think we can. All right.
And then the last one before my next topic, and then we're almost done. Time manipulation, time crystals.
Oh, I love this too, because I know this is going to happen because it was in Stranger Things.
Yes, they have developed a theatrical material that could bend the rules of time and energy, though this is far from practical.
I don't know if it is far from practical. I mean, we do have fax machines, and those are pretty amazing. So...
those are some mind-blowing things, though. Like, would you trust your consciousness to be uploaded to a computer so that maybe your loved ones, when you die, can still interact?
Well, I think it's cute if someone, when I die, still wants to interact with me, because I don't want one of these versions of my mom, because they would be yelling at me all the time. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody deserves this.
Right. That leads me.
Does it lead you?
It leads me into the future way of being buried. So there's a big concern with cemeteries that when you get your plot, that they're going to maintain and keep it nice. But now it's been hundreds of years. So there's become an issue with maintaining your plots, your graves, the land it's on.
Did you see my story about that?
No, I did not.
This is actually a thing in my life right now. So my mother-in-law goes to the Toledo Memorial, the one over on Haroon in Sylvania. And she went to go visit her parents. So oddly enough, like her parents and, her husband's parents are right by each other. Her parents are sunken into the ground. Like their tombstone is down. And you just said it's like part of your package, having the maintenance, right?
Right.
But she's distraught. She's crying. Everyone... I don't think this would upset me, but it really upsets her. So if it upsets her, they should fix it, right? And I don't think they've fixed it. And every time she talks about it, she cries. And I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's kind of sad.
You see that it's the issue. Yeah.
So that is this is real problems, everyone.
Right. And that's why I was like shocked with some of these ways. And they are doing a majority, if not all of these things. So the first thing I ran across is natural or green burials. What is it? Its bodies are buried without embalming in biodegradable materials to allow natural decomposition.
And they can attach you to a tree. Like they're already doing that now. You can.
Yeah, that's actually in here.
With your body into a tree. I saw an ad when my mom died.
I talk about that in here too.
Oh, go ahead.
So why is green burials popular? There's no toxic chemicals. It reduces your carbon footprint and protects the ecosystem by avoiding heavy metals and non-biodegradable coffins. So yeah, the other one, human composting, recomposition. What is it? The body is placed in a vessel with organic materials, wood chips, alfalfa, to naturally decompose into nutrient-rich soil. So in Washington State, they do this already, I believe. At least that's what my notes say. Why it's cool. Families can use the re-salting soil to plant trees or gardens, creating a living legacy. And the environmental benefit is uses less energy than cremation and avoids the burial pollutants. You can also be aquamation. So aquamation is also known as alkaline hydrolysis. This
Hydrolysis.
process,
Alkaline
yes,
hydrolysis.
there you go. You got me covered. The
Sorry.
process uses water, heat, and alkaline solution to dissolve the body. And it's appealing because it produces less carbon dioxide than flame-based cremation, and it also remains turned into liquid and bone ash and can be returned to loved ones. So you can still get some sort of like a ash from a cremation. So it is available in some U.S. states already. Tree pod burial. So what is it? The body is placed in a biodegradable pod and buried beneath a tree sapling. Why it's meaningful? Your remains nourish a tree, turning you into part of the ecosystem. It offers a living natural memorial rather than traditional headstone. Space burial. Right now, there's a company that you can pay to take you to space. They take a small portion of your cremated remains. It's Celestis Memorial Space Flights is who's doing it. How much it cost, I'm not sure, but it's probably not cheap. This one I thought is cool. I want a burial bead. So what is it? It's your cremated remains are compressed into colorful beads. Why it's so cool? The beads can be displayed in an artistic container or worn as jewelry. So you could wear your loved one on you.
Yeah, they're not that bad. You can get them for like $350. They give you the information when you go to the funeral home. They're cool.
Oh, so you've heard about this. So that is, because it says it's popular in South Korea.
No, it's the norm. Like I have a small baggie of Nanny's ashes, so we can all have them made into beads.
Oh, I love that. That was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, it's really cool. So, it's not cheap. You don't need a lot of the ashes, so there's plenty more if you want them buried somewhere or something.
Right. So that one I thought was pretty cool. Some of these I didn't know. Like this next one, digital memorialization. So what is it? It's combining burial with virtual or augmented reality to preserve memories, ideas. Loved ones visit a virtual cemetery where they can interact with a hologram of the deceased. QR codes on headstones link to videos, photos, or other personal stories online.
Oh,
why it's appealing?
Love that.
Keeps memories alive in a modern, interactive way.
This is very true because I already cannot remember my dad's voice, and that really hurts my feelings. And I don't really have any videos. And, everything goes obsolete. Like someday, whoever has a QR code on their headstone, someone's not going to be able to read that because they're not going to be able to get the technology to read the QR code, right? Like now I have a bunch of VHS tapes and I don't have a VCR, and I don't find this voice. But I'm being serious. Like everything's forever changing. Like what's going to make sense? This is awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
You can do a mushroom burial, a biodegradable suit infused with mushroom spores that helps decompose your body, and it detoxifies the surrounding soil. So basically it reduces environmental toxins and it creates rich soil for plants and trees. Yep. You can do the eternal reef burial is another one, and that one's is what it is. It actually helps restore marine ecosystems, and loved ones can visit the reef as a living memorial.
I don't understand.
Maybe a surfer, somebody that likes the water, I think would like something like that.
No, Sarah, I'm reading ahead. I need you to skip to the freeze drying. What?
The body is frozen with liquid nitrogen and vibrated into powder, which can be buried or used as compost. So it's basically they freeze dry you.
Yeah, but
it's environmental friendly. I don't think I would do the freeze drying.
It's probably so expensive. Like get cremated for $350. Why would you?
I don't even like
freeze dried?
the free-dried candy that you can get. gross.
Because it's so weird. I don't know. Why would you do that to a body? That's different. I don't know.
So the last thing is virtual funeral services. So they're going to start using virtual, or they already do probably, virtual reality or online platforms to hold funerals for remote attendees. And it's growing. So they do it because it's growing. It's accessible for family members across the world, and it integrates digital
what did we do during COVID? We're totally doing that.
Yeah. Well, so that's what I got. Would you guys consider any of these burial options, Jessica? Would you? What would you do? Which one?
Well, I think at this point, I just think cremation makes sense. It takes up space. Except, what are you doing? So right now, I have 4 people. We have 4 people that we need to figure out what we're going to do with. Otherwise, they're going to get lost over generations. No one's going to care about what my dad's doing. Where's Jessica's dad and his urn? Where are you going to put this? You have to bury him, and there's another cost to that. You know what I mean?
Nobody thinks of that stuff when you're younger either, and then it creeps up on you, and it's a reality.
I want to be cremated, but what are you going to do with me after that? Are you going to bury me somewhere? What's going to happen? I don't know. Do I even care? I also said that. Do we care? Like, once they put us in that urn, does it matter where our remains are? Like,
that's the other thing.
Do you care?
The other thing they're talking about is right now there's a lot of Facebook. You know how when somebody passes, you have the right to either transition their page to a memorial or keep it. They're saying a lot more people are starting to keep it because they want to still interact with their loved one. And that's why they're making up all these different things that they're working on. It's just...
So it's true. I kept my dad's, and that's how I talk to him. I send him Facebook messages.
Yep. People do that.
If I didn't have that, I would probably
be lost.
I don't know. Yeah, that would be hard. So
well, next time you talk to him, tell him I said hi, and I'll see him soon. Not real soon, but I'll see him soon.
All right.
That's all I got. You got some more stuff though that you wanted to cover about what's upcoming. I'm excited. Tell me.
Yeah. So upcoming, we have this girl we've been friends with, and so we know that she had something tragic happen recently and reached out to a psychic, and we're going to have her on to tell a little bit about her story and how it helped her.
A medium, right? One that communicates with your past loved one. She
says psychic, but I guess a medium is the same thing. I mean, maybe it's technically not. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it is, but mediums are ones that will communicate with the past. So you could be psychic and know the future, but this girl seems to be amazing.
See, you know a little bit more about this than me. I'm just going in layman's terms. So whatever.
It'll be exciting.
Yeah, she'll be something, and Erin will be able to share a little bit about her story. So I think that's cool. And then we're gonna try to get the psychic on, or the medium, or just learn about her.
Yes.
And what she is. It's a work in progress.
Yes. So our upcoming episodes, projects are, we did our interview with the Haunted Toledo, Chris Tillman, and we'll be discussing some of those local and non-local stories.
Because we had some hiccups with our recording and trying to get them on. That was a pain in the butt.
Yes. But we're going to figure it out, and those episodes are coming up, and I cannot wait.
Yay.
But I think that's all I got, Joss. What else?
Dave.
Awesome.
How long is the recording?
The recording is 1 hour and 14 minutes.
Oh, dang. There's a lot you can take out.